Good morning, students. Today we will continue the chapter Transpiration. As I have said, the definition of transpiration, that is loss of water from the aerial part of plants in the form of water vapor, that is known as transpiration. We will continue this chapter with the Ganox photometer. Ganox photometer. Here you can see the apparatus of Ganox photometer. The complete apparatus you need to know: a beaker here taken full with water and a bent capillary tube, graduated tube, and in this the whole apparatus is full of water. You can see here the water. And a freshly cut twig is inserted in this apparatus. Example may be the coleus plant or any other plant also can be taken. Freshly cut twig is inserted here. And this is the colored water. Whole apparatus is filled with colored water. And you can see here a reservoir. When it is needed, from here a stop cork can be opened to put the water in this apparatus so that the air bubble can be brought back to its original place. So how this air bubble is introduced in this apparatus? By lifting this bent capillary tube, just lifting above the water, and air is sucked through the capillary tube, and then again this capillary bent tube is dipped down in the water. So the now whole apparatus is kept in the sunlight. As the water is lost from transpiration proceeds. As the water is lost from the twig, a suction force is set up which pulls the water from the beaker, and the bubble in the capillary tube moves along. You can see here the air bubble is moving in the capillary tube as the water is lost by the twig. With the help of water is lost through this twig in the form of water vapor, the air bubble moves along the capillary tube. And then the reading on the capillary tube, here you can see the graduated scale is put here, fixed here. So the reading on the capillary tube would give the volume of water lost in given time. The air bubble can be brought back to its original position by releasing some more water from the reservoir into the capillary tube by opening the stop cork. Here, this is the reservoir. When we open this, the water comes down in this apparatus. If we need to bring back this air bubble to the original place, it can be done by opening the reservoir. Limitations in the use of photometer. Introducing the air bubble is not very easy. The twig may not remain fully alive for a long time. Any changes in the outside air temperature may affect the position of the air bubble in the capillary tube. Next, we'll see the kinds of transpiration. There are 3 types of transpiration: stomatal transpiration, cuticular transpiration, and lenticular transpiration. First we will see about the mechanism of stomatal transpiration. Mechanism of stomatal transpiration. Stomata are minute opening in the epidermal layer of leaves. As stoma is surrounded by two bean-shaped cells. During daytime, the stomata are wide open for intake of carbon dioxide to fulfill the need of photosynthesis. Stomatal transpiration. The water vapor escapes out through the stomata of the leaf. You can see here the guard cell and between the stoma. So, water vapor escape out from the stoma to the environment. Here you can see a cuticle, and the whole part is known as upper epidermis. Below you can see these cells. These cells are palisade mesophyll cells, and these are spongy mesophyll cells. And here you can see the intercellular space, and you can see the lower epidermis. This is upper epidermis, this is lower epidermis, and the guard cells, stoma. Now, water is absorbed by the root and sent through the stem up to the leaves through the veins. It reaches to the leaf cells through the veins. These are the leaf cells, and the water reaches here through the veins of the leaves. So some of the cells, mesophyll cells, are exposed to this intercellular space. These cells are exposed to this intercellular space. We have studied that cell-to-cell osmosis, water molecules move from one cell to another cell. So here these cells are exposing to this intercellular space, and that's why the water molecule is given out to this space, and that forms the thin film of water, and this water gets evaporated and makes the saturation of the water area, and that, since it is more saturated, it moves to the outside environment through this stoma or stomata due to diffusion. You know that what is diffusion? Movement of substance from higher concentration to lower concentration. Same thing here. Here it is happening because here there is saturated air, and that is heavier than the outside atmospheric air, and that's why this diffuse out to the atmospheric air, and this is known as mechanism of stomatal transpiration. More transpiration occur from the under surface of dicot leaf. You know that leaf is having the two surfaces, one upper surface and other the lower surface. More transpiration occurs from the under surface of dicot leaf. Sometimes this statement will be given to you, and you will be asked to give reason for it. And the reason is, since the more stomatal opening are found on lower surface of the leaf, and that's why more transpiration takes place from the lower surface of the leaf. This is the correct reason. You can write that. Here, to prove that, experiment is shown to you. Leaf is taken attached with the parent plant, that leaf, we have to show the experiment that under surface of the leaf transpire more than the upper surface. Two slides we have taken and a cobalt chloride paper. Cobalt chloride papers are blue when it is dry, and when it get moisturity it become pink. So here two cobalt chloride paper taken, one is kept on lower surface and other on the upper surface of the leaf, and with the help of slides it is stick or clip with the leaf and left this set up in the sunlight for some time. So soon we can see that the lower surface of the leaf, which is having the cobalt chloride paper, turn pink, and the upper one does not change, or it takes lot of time to change it. This shows from which side of the leaf more transpiration takes place. So obviously that is the lower surface, because first the cobalt chloride paper turned pink, and that shows the more transpiration takes place from the lower surface of the leaf. Stomatal regulation of transpiration. Stomatal regulation of transpiration. Stomata are minute opening or minute structure occurring in large number on the lower surface of the leaf. Stoma or stomata, you can see these are minute structure found in large number on lower surface of the leaf. Transpiration occurs as long as the stomata are open and stop when it is closed. As the stomata open during the daytime, the diffusion of gases in and out start fulfilling the need for photosynthesis as well as allowing transpiration. If for any reason the water content of the leaf is falling down, then this guard cell become flaccid and stoma will be closed, and there will be no transpiration. The opening and closing mechanism of stomata is regulated by the amount of water and solute present in the guard cells. So water is needed and solute is needed for the opening and closing of stomata. If the guard cells are turgid, the stomata will be open, and if the guard cell is flaccid, the stomata will be closed. Leaves of some plants wilt during midday and recover in the evening. This statement also sometimes it will be given to you and it will be asked to write the reason for it. Leaves of some plants wilt during midday and recover in the evening. The correct reason for it that in the midday the rate of transpiration is higher than the rate of absorption, and that's why the leaves wilt, जिसको हम मुरझा जाना कहते हैं, wilts down. And in the evening the rate of transpiration is lower than the rate of absorption. That's why they recover in the evening and stand erect. Next is cuticular transpiration. You can see the cuticle here. Cuticular transpiration. Cuticle is a waxy layer secreted by the epidermis on the two surfaces of the leaf. It is a waxy layer found on both surfaces of the leaf. This is lower surface and this is upper surface. The thickness of the cuticle varies from plant to plant. The cuticle serves to prevent evaporation of water from the leaf surfaces. Sometimes you will be asked to write the function of cuticle. So what is the function of cuticle? It prevents the evaporation of water vapor. Prevent the evaporation of water from the leaf surfaces. The greater the thickness of the cuticle, the lesser is the evaporation. If the cuticle is more thick, less will be the transpiration or loss of water by evaporation. Next is lenticular transpiration. Lenticels are special opening on the older stems and it remains always open. It never closes. Water from the cell surfaces directly facing the lenticels evaporate and contribute to transpiration. The amount of transpiration from lenticel is certainly more than the cuticular transpiration, but it is very less than the stomatal transpiration. So you must know to compare. The more transpiration takes place from the stoma. Very less transpiration takes place from the cuticle and little more transpiration takes place from the lenticular cells, lenticels. Now we will see about the factors which affect transpiration. Factors which affect transpiration. Intensity of sunlight. Sometimes you will be asked to write any 3 or 4 factors which affect the rate of transpiration. So you need to learn any 4 points with explanation. Intensity of sunlight. During day, the stomata are open to facilitate the inward diffusion of carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. At night they are closed, therefore more transpiration occurs during daytime. And any cloudy day, it affects the rate of transpiration. Transpiration rate will be reduced in cloudy days. Temperature. If the outside temperature is higher, there is more evaporation from the leaves, therefore more transpiration. Increase in temperature allow more water to evaporate and decrease in temperature reduces the rate of transpiration. Velocity of wind. Transpiration increases with the velocity of wind. If the wind blows faster, water vapor released during transpiration is removed faster and the area outside the leaf does not get saturated with water vapor. Humidity. Transpiration is reduced if the air outside is humid. Next, carbon dioxide. When carbon dioxide increases over the normal percentage like 0.03% to little more, it closes the stomatal opening and transpiration will be reduced. Atmospheric pressure. Rate of transpiration increases with the decreasing atmospheric transpiration. Next, adaptation in plants to reduce excessive transpiration. Here this also you will be asked to write sometimes that adaptation of leaf to reduce the transpiration. First, sunken stomata. The stomata may be sunken or covered by hairs so that it will reduce the rate of transpiration. Example, nerium. Next, fewer stomata. The number of stomata may be reduced so that transpiration will be reduced. Narrow leaves. The leaves may become narrower to reduce surface area. Example, nerium. Loss of leaves in cactus plants or turn into spines. Leaves turn or convert into spines so that it cut down the transpiration. Thick cuticle also cut down the rate of transpiration. Next, significance of transpiration. There are three main significance of transpiration, that is cooling effect, suction force and distribution of water and mineral. And this also is very important. You will be asked to write the significance of transpiration with explanation. Evaporation reduces temperature of leaf surface. Therefore, transpiration is useful to plants on hot sunny days. Suction force. Transpiration helps in the ascent of sap by producing a suction force acting from the top of a plant. Evaporation from the leaves concentrates cell sap and increases their osmotic pressure. This draws water from the cell at the lower level in a sequential manner. And next is distribution of water and mineral salts. Since leaves are present at the tip of all branches and twigs, transpiration from their surfaces tends to draw water towards them and thus help in the distribution of water through the plant body. Dear